What up? 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 It's your guys, Nick and Marcus. Back around the water cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Tonight, so around the water cooler, we talking this transfer portal, man. We had a couple of guys leave in football, man. And we got a couple of guys come in basketball. So we're gonna talk about both of them tonight, man. Y'all know what it is. Water Cooler Talk Podcast is coming up next. Eugene and
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC Conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, we back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday,
yes, sir.
16th, and we back around the water cooler, man. And we appreciate y'all for who's around with us now, and those that'll be watching on the rewatch. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler. My name is Nick Frazier, and the other guy, you hear him. Hopefully, we'll see him next week. Tell him who you are, my guy.
Marcus Fitzpatrick. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes. We appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler as always, man. Before we get into the topic for tonight, we're not gonna keep y'all too long because we know y'all got other things to do, things and stuff like that. It's a work night. Follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23 if you have a Twitter account. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. So you know when we post more videos and when we go live, man. We are on the journey towards 700 subscribers. So we appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler, man. Let's take a look at the comments before we get into the topic for tonight, man. Hope everybody is doing well. What it is, what it ain't, what it could be in the words.
Auburn Dad, what's good, my guy?
What's up, Auburn Dad? How you feeling? He's saying, "War damn, let's go." What's up, Auburn Dad? I hope you feeling all right, my guy. And the quote of the day video, I don't know what the problem is. I gotta figure that out. But the quote of the day from JT, ladies and gentlemen, it is: the thing I love about the portal is you don't know what the hell is going to happen. Hell, Jeremiah Smith may say, "I want more money," and leave. And that's from Stephen A. Smith. We kind of just had that happen in college football a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. Auburn Dad comes back and says, "Man, well, I know it could get worse. Happy we only losing a little depth in the cornerback room, but losing Jordan hurts because he was backup center and starting center at all spring. But I understand he wanted to be the man. Yep, that's what it is. He want to get on. He want to be able to get on the field and get some tape for the next level, man." JT comes back and say, "Man, basketball, we need 1 to 2 more centers, 1 to 2 more forwards." So we'll get into that in a little bit, man. Appreciate that so much. The legend of Sweet Sugar Bat Williams, the Huggy Beard himself, is rocking with us tonight. What's up, Huggy? He said, "Everybody else, what's up?" He's saying, "War Eagle." He's saying, "What's up, Marcus?"
That's good.
And my guy from the Golden Broom Podcast, Vandy Chris.
What's up, Vandy?
Is rocking with us tonight. What's going on, Vandy? Chris, how you feeling, my guy? Hope all is well with you all, man. Thank you so much, man. It is what it is. Hope all is good. Auburn Dad is saying what's up to everybody, as always, man. Vandy Chris comes in. He says, "First and foremost, congrats on your series win over Vanderbilt and your recent sweep of LSU." Yes, the baseball team is really good, and it looks like if things the trajectory keep going that way, guess what? Auburn baseball might be in Omaha in June. It may happen. We're gonna be watching it. So. It may be watching. You know what? I started following it a little bit more because last season was not a good season for Auburn baseball. I'm just gonna be real. It was not.
But baseball always finds its way back to the top.
It does. You're right. Now the year before that, Auburn baseball.
It's just like Auburn swimming. For some reason, they always find a way to be competitive.
True. But you know what? We need to be dominant like Auburn equestrian, because Auburn equestrian just wins national championships every year. Like, it's crazy. So we need the football, basketball, we need all that to be dominant. Baseball, all be dominant, just like Auburn equestrian. So it is what it is, man. So yeah, man. it may happen. It may happen. Auburn might be in the
C
College World
Hall,
Series.
boy, where you been, C Hall?
Y'all, what's up, man? How you feeling,
My
my guy?
dude,
How you feeling, my guy? You feeling like my guy? I feel
my
you, my
guy,
guy.
C Hall.
Guy C Hall rocking with us, man. Vandy Chris, he said, I want the Law brothers from North Carolina at Vandy at linebacker. You talking about the Law brothers that hit the portal? I think they're from North Carolina linebackers. Yeah, I think, are they twins? I don't know if they twins or not, but I know they definitely brothers. He said we need a big and another 3 to 4 to replace the ones we're losing to Tennessee. The Tennessee. Y'all, Vanderbilt actually lost their starting defensive tackle in the portal. Their starting defensive tackle, Vanderbilt, lost in the portal. They need some big men up front as well, too. So it is what it is. Huggy Beard
Something
saying,
going on in Vandy? Vandy
I don't
Chris,
know.
you need to tell us something? Y'all
I
losing
don't know.
starting defense tackles?
I mean, they started defensive tackle, they lost to the porter. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man. But we here, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us around the water cooler as always, man. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Marcus.
Yes,
Marcus.
sir.
The portal has claimed some of Auburn's defensive back room, man. So just as a recap, and we've had one new person enter the portal as well since Braden Joyner yesterday when it broke while we was on air that he was entering the portal. So as of right now, that it sits, Terrence Love, safety, has entered the portal. CJ Johnson, who entered the winter portal, withdrew from the winter portal, came back for the spring, and now he's back in the portal, re-entering the portal. Your boy JC Hart has entered the transfer portal, and is basically saying he becomes the third defensive back to depart as well. Last night, as I stated last night, we were talking about the Nico situation, and we brought up Braden Joyner, and as we were talking about it, news broke that Braden Joyner has entered the transfer portal, and he will be looking for a new home. He was the starting center all spring this spring for Connor Lou, who was out with an injury and things and stuff like that. So wishing him all the best, and walk on wide receiver Dylan Gentry.
Yeah.
Who came in with Coleman. And shout out to Coach Phil Browder, who came on the show, who was Cam Coleman's high school position coach. He came on and chopped it up with us some, man. Shout out to him. Dylan Gentry has entered his name into the portal. So Marcus, man, looking at what has happened so far with the portal, man, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings so far about Auburn football moving forward?
I'm hurt because
what?
Because
the way you said it, I'm hurt.
My guy, man. I mess with Gentry, dog.
It was funny how you said it. I'm hurt.
I'm hurt because man, I wanted to see Gentry. I wanted to see Gentry make the field, bro. I was really rooting for him at Auburn. I was hoping he wasn't gonna transfer. I was hoping he was gonna fit out, but it's just too much talent in that room, so I understood. So, but yeah. To me, after watching some clips of the 8A practices, I understood why those two safeties departed, because I see where we kind of going in that route. And I'm hurt to see JC go.
Yep.
But I know I feel like maybe he is a personal reason why he's choosing to leave. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing that it could be personal.
Yeah.
But I'm really hurt about Joyner, and for the reasons you named, Connor Lou just coming off surgery, been sitting out most of the spring.
Yep.
And Joyner being that guy, so it's just like when we spoke on the O-line depth this offseason, we kept bringing up his name.
Yep.
And now he's hitting the portal, so it's just like I'm worried for the chemistry of. First of all, I'm worried about the future of the offense, because when we brought up his name, we talked about the future after Connor Lou departs from Auburn. What would the future O-line look like? And we brought up his name. So first, I'm worried about the future, but now it's like if Connor Lou has a setback during the season, like I wanted to go to a more experienced guy. Now we have to worry about who are we going to put there, which we all know it might be we rotate Dylan Wade over. and just throw somebody at that guard spot. But I would prefer to have a guy who went through spring and know the plays and has the chemistry with the O-line like Jonah. So that's my biggest problem, my biggest worry from the transfer portal.
Yeah, man. I mean, looking at this, man, I would have to say that Terrence Love was a little shocking to me. Because I thought just based off of the prototypical size, if he would have gotten some playing time this year and would have got on the field, I think he would have flashed a lot. I don't know if he didn't have enough reps during the spring to where that could have happened for him. But that's a big kid, man. I think he was 6'2", 6'3", about 220 some pounds, something like that. 215 or somewhere in that range. So
he get after on NCAA.
Yeah, man, he does. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, NCAA college football 25. Yeah, you right about that. But the thing is, like, he's gonna make somebody's team better, because
I agree.
You gotta understand, and that just tells you a lot, because he was a 4-star kid coming out, and that tells you a lot about the talent that was recruited over him, and that has come into that defensive backfield. So it's not like he's not gonna go to another team and he's not gonna shine. It's just the fact of the matter that it's just a lot of talent in Auburn secondary room right now. So that one to me probably is still next to Braden Joyner, like you, is probably the one that kind of hurts the most. And to be honest with you, it's probably right there with Joyner. Joyner for this all the
because I expected Love to touch the field this year.
Yeah, all the reasons you mentioned Joyner. I mean, him basically having all the reps this year because Lou was not fully available for spring. Him having that ability to come in, and if something were to happen, at that center position, he can come in. Now, Auburn did recruit Kel Ellis, and Kel Ellis did reclassify from the 26 class to the 25 class. I believe for this particular reason, because I feel as if he's going to be the anchor of the offensive line moving forward. They're going to want to try to build around him at that center position, because there's a possibility that if Lou pops even more this year, that he could leave and go to the draft. And he would be considered probably one of the top centers, in the top 3 to 4 centers in the NFL draft in 2026. So, having a guy like Kel Ellis, but the thing about it is Kel Ellis is not here yet. I don't think he won't be here until the summer. So,
you want that piece.
Yeah, exactly. Joyner there getting those reps, basically getting 15 practices of reps. This summer, this past spring helped out a lot. But yeah, man, looking at JC Hart, it was reported that JC Hart was actually the 4th cornerback. So shout out to Dukes to Scoop, man. He put out a video today, and he kind of talked about this a little bit, man. So make sure y'all go check out Dukes to Scoop's channel.
Shout out Dukes.
He put out a video, and basically went through the whole spring depth. And I won't go in depth with it, because he gives a lot more in depth with it. So make sure you check out that video. But I mean, basically, and from what I've read and heard and seen, it seems as if JC Hart was, in that rotation of guys that was going to be in the 2 deep at the cornerback position. So having him on the field, but he also got injured towards the end of practice or towards the end of spring as well too. So I mean, losing that guy, losing him, CJ Johnson, I'm gonna just be real with you. CJ Johnson, after he entered the portal in the winter portal,
he was done then.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was probably just testing it out to see, if something happened, and it didn't happen. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and see if I can find me somewhere else to go. And try to see if I can make my name and give me a better opportunity somewhere else. And we wish him all the best as well.
Indeed.
It's your boy Dylan Gentry, man. He decided
that hurts.
Decided to take it on out the door, man. He decided to take it on out the door, man.
I seen him in the 8-day game. He caught a little tub, man. I was like, let's go. I said, my boy he gonna start getting some shine, man. And then, I wake up that morning, I see that. I even shouted him out, man. I say, hey, man, best of luck to him, bro.
Agree. I tell you this, man. I tell you this. Are you nervous that there potentially could there be a? I think right now, I think Joyner is probably the biggest name that we've
Yeah,
heard
most definitely.
into the portal. Into the portal.
And I hate to say it, he's the
Okay.
most valuable name.
Okay. All right. I won't disagree with you there. But would you say that if you had to project, if anything, if you had to project, is there another person that you potentially think could enter the portal? Like, and if it is that name a major name? Is that somebody that we think potentially could have a bigger role this coming up season? Like, what are your thoughts on
that? Like I said, bro, the name that I keep hearing from people is still Jeremiah Cobb, bro. And I hope it,
for real?
yes, bro, and that frightens me. But, I'm not leaning into it because I don't want to see that happen. And I would say before the A-Day practice or before the A-Day game, I would have said Perry Thompson, but Perry Thompson had an outstanding A-Day. So I really don't know, man. Like it's really, and that's the scary part about the situation that we're in. You don't know what star would say or potential star, because we don't know if they are stars yet, but what potential star will say, all right, I don't see no time. I want to get on the field now, and I don't see a path to it right now, so I'm gone. And that's the scary thing, the scary situation about having so much talent.
Got you.
And
yeah, I mean, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, in the era that we're in right now, because these young guys want to play and get some ticks now. They want to get film now. They don't want to sit around and wait until there's about junior or senior year to start getting quality playing time. They want it now.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I want you can't never put anything past anything or anything like that, because you just never know what could happen. A la Nico Iamaleava situation. But I honestly, I would put it highly doubtful that Jeremiah Cobb leaves.
I hope so.
Highly doubtful that he leaves. From all indications, it seems as if he had a really good spring.
True. Very true.
I still think.
To your point, though, Nick,
right,
Jordan started the whole spring too, and he caught us off guard yesterday. After you had just brought his name up.
Very true. Ladies and gentlemen, about to join the chat with us, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only from at its SE season. Tez is in the building. Tez, what's going on with you, my guy?
What's going on, fellas?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. We talking about the departures that Auburn had during the first part of, well, really the first day of the portal. Talked about, CJ Johnson entering the portal. We talked about Braden Joyner entering the portal, Terrence Love, Dylan Gentry, and JC Hart, man. Which one of those guys are you seeing as the biggest loss for Auburn in your mind?
And as the biggest loss probably would be probably would be Braden Joyner.
Yeah.
Just because I could see him playing and being a staple in the offensive line in the future. With the other ones, they kind of like, I understand why those safeties left, of course.
Yep.
Those young cats are balling.
Yep.
JC Hart is one that I didn't want to see go, just because of the speed, athleticism. I feel like he could contribute. But even then, that secondary is still crowded, and I think that just Joyner being the one that could probably, I saw him contributing down the road. So
okay, yeah, man, yeah, like we said, yeah, him having those reps at center this spring with uh Connor Lew out was invaluable. And now, like Marcus said earlier, you can move Dylan Wade over to center and maybe put DeAndre Carter in at guard there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know like I said, I know Kel Ellis is the future piece that will kind of anchor that offensive line moving forward. He won't be in until this summer. But still, having those reps and getting those reps there, even as a backup, is invaluable, man. Is invaluable. Before we move on, man, Nico Iamaleava has landed at UCLA. And Tez, I want to get your thoughts on this, man. Marcus, we talked about this, and it seems as if now that here's the thing. Here's the thing. So everything that, and I've been making a statement, everything that we've heard so far has been from the Tennessee side. Today, we finally got a statement from the Nico side of things. And I made the assumption early on in this process that I wasn't gonna say I was never gonna say it was not about the money, but I was saying it was about the money because Tennessee did not upgrade their roster enough in the winter portal based on what they were losing. You lost Brew McCoy, who's going to the NFL draft. You lost Dylan Sampson, who was a running back. Squirrel White, who was who would have been your top receiver coming back, transferred out of Tennessee to Florida State. So now you look at this offensive line. They did bring in Wendell Moore Jr., who was interested in Auburn at one point in time. And he did come visit Auburn, actually. And you look at the offensive line, who should be, an average, maybe a little bit above average offensive line, but there are no skilled players that some would consider to be that guy that he would be throwing to. So basically, them asking for more money, or allegedly asking for more money, because I still feel like that's kind of up in the air, was more because of more work that Nico would have to do with him being the main focal point of the offense, and the fact that if it did go sideways, that his draft stock probably would slide. But he's now at UCLA. I'm pretty sure that NIL deal at UCLA is nowhere near what the $4 million that was guaranteed that was reported.
Okay, that answered my question.
It's nowhere near.
Nowhere near. I was just about to ask you, Nick, did he get the money? All I want to know is, did he get the money?
Nah, he didn't. Nah, I'm pretty sure.
That was dumb.
I'm pretty sure he's still probably making. He's still probably making more than everybody on that roster.
Exactly.
We are. I'm pretty sure he was making more than everybody at Tennessee roster.
Probably. So, what's your thoughts on that, Tiz? We haven't heard your thoughts on that here yet.
As far as Tennessee, I mean, as far as him going to UCLA,
yeah.
My thoughts is he better had taken that UCLA offer. They probably was like one of the last ones left.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't taken that offer, he'd have been with me in Birmingham at my house.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. He entered the portal with a do not disturb. I mean, not do not, but with a do not contact tag. So that's the interesting part. But also, he said there was a statement came out that basically said it wasn't about the money, which I do feel like it was, for the simple reason that I mentioned before. But they said it was more about the offensive system at with Josh Heupel. And when they say offensive system, I honestly feel like it's probably more about them not upgrading the roster, if you ask me. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
That's not, well, I guess it is his call to make when he's talking about his future, but like, bro, you don't know who's gonna ball out. I guarantee you, midway when this season starts, we're gonna look at Tennessee and we're gonna be like, man, he probably should have stayed.
Man, what it sounds like is his dad trying to maximize his NIL era. That's what it sounds like.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Tennessee is going to feel it this year.
Yeah, I think they're gonna feel it, but I think they're gonna. The only reason why I think they're gonna feel it is because he left. I think the talent gonna be there, but it's gonna.
And I think Josh Heupel's a damn good coach too. Like,
I agree.
I don't know. Would they be? Are they going to take a hit? Yeah, of course. Now, portal window's still open. They can get a portal quarterback. I think they got 2 former 4-star quarterbacks on their roster right now, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody's looking at them as world beaters.
Mm-mm.
We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Before this all happened, what did we have Tennessee with him before we knew any of this? Probably still a top 5 team in the SEC. So they lose a quarterback, and I think if they can replace that production somehow, either through coaching or through the portal, they could be near there again.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this. This season, I'm gonna say this. This is gonna tell you what type of coach, how good of a coach. Because you just said Josh Heupel was a damn good coach.
I think he is.
This is gonna tell you a lot, because the year he did not have what we consider to be one of the above average to almost elite quarterbacks. I think he only won like 7-8 games.
Yeah, but that's like a miss, though. Do you like
that's true. That's true. I'm giving you that one. I'm giving you that. But every other year,
he's elite?
Do I think Josh Heupel is elite?
No, like you think that Nico is an elite quarterback. When you see him play, do you see elite quarterback?
But here's the thing. So if I see elite talent, I put it that way. But this is the thing, though. What people fail to realize is that was Nico's first full year as a starter. You know what I'm saying? That was his first year as a starter. So we sitting here saying, all right, yeah, he sat on the bench for a year and he got paid that much money to sit on the bench because, well, who was there? Joe Milton was the quarterback and things like that. So they decided to go back to Joe Milton, and things and stuff like that. But last year was his first full year, and I did the numbers Monday night. I said, if you take Nico's numbers, passing and touchdowns, 2,600 yards passing, 19 touchdowns. He was 8th and 7th in the SEC respectively for both of those. If you would have took his numbers and put him in the Big 10, he would have been 6th in passing and he would have been 6th in touchdowns. If you put him in the Big 12, he would have been tied for 10th in the Big 12 in passing and 9th in the Big 12 in touchdowns. And if you would put him in the ACC, he would have been 9th in the ACC in passing and 7th in the ACC in touchdowns. So he's a top 10 quarterback. So I mean, in any of the Power 4 leagues, he's a top 10 quarterback. So based on those numbers. So the thing is, like we've had this we had this conversation Monday, and
Nick,
go ahead.
Nick,
go ahead.
Top 10. Okay.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with top 10?
It's true.
It's 18. It's 18 teams in the Big 10. It's 16 in the SEC.
So that's mediocre.
And his numbers would have been mediocre. His numbers would have been in the middle.
Mediocre.
Okay.
That's mediocre. So he's a mediocre quarterback in any league.
For a first year starting full-time quarterback.
I give you that.
Exactly.
I would say if you want to hang your hat on something, you could say he's very efficient. His touchdown to interception.
He was not efficient.
I'm talking about his touchdown.
He didn't turn the ball over a lot, is what he said.
Yeah, okay.
His touchdown to interception ratio is amazing. And he got him to the playoffs. So I guess if you want to hang your hat on.
He was handing the ball to what was the best running back in the SEC.
Dylan Sampson was the best running back in the SEC.
Well, he had the best year, put it like that.
Oh, I was about to say. Okay, all right.
But I'm saying, well, the running game was efficient. Like the running
game,
it
definitely was.
It did.
So when you say put him in another conference, is he going to have that same production at running back? Because I would argue if he doesn't,
he'll probably have better receiver play, which means he can probably put the ball and probably have receivers that can go get the football. I'm just saying. I mean, this is the thing. We talking about a lot of hypothetical stuff. Don't get it twisted. I'm not sitting here saying he deserved $4 million. If that's what people think, I'm not sitting here saying that at all. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying, and it's more of the thing of what the narrative is about him, trying to get paid more. I just feel like whatever he felt his value was, he went and asked for it. They said no. He said, all right, I'm gone. They said, all right, cool. And that's what happened. And that's really all it is. You know, that's really
But
all it is. But don't make the narrative, and we talked about it in the money, but don't make the narrative of him as a villain in the whole situation. Just
I'm
because
not
he
making
actually
it.
felt like his.
I don't
No,
think.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other people that was in the media that I've been reading and
Yeah.
listening to. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't think he's a villain for actually. Listen, if you want more money and you want to demand more money, it's a business now, so you could do
Of
that.
course.
If you want to transfer, the portal's wide open. You could do that. The only issue I have with him is like to publicize it. That's bad business. To sit out of practice. No, this is not the NFL. I guarantee you this situation would have went over a lot smoother had he showed up for practice and even played in the spring game. Even been in the spring game.
To even
doing the same thing.
my angle is to even have rumors come out that he threatened to sit out the playoff game. Like
it wasn't just him; it was a bunch of players on that team. Let's just be real about it.
So, like, that's a larger conversation though, because I feel like the way he handled this situation was wrong, and if they had a threatened to sit out a playoff game, that's kind of wrong too. But the premise of it, I totally agree with. If these are professionals and they're gonna getting NIL deals based on an entire season, if this is a business, if this is like the NFL, if this is what we're talking about, then if I play more games than you paid me for, I should get paid more money.
Because it happens in the NFL.
Wrong on that.
It happens in the NBA and the NFL. They get paid a playoff draw for every round they make. Every round they make it to, they get more money for every round they make it to. It's not that those games are not part of their salary for the year. It's not part of those 17 games that they play during the year in the NFL. It's the exact same.
And I totally agree with that. However, you don't see NFL players and teams negotiating that. Trying to negotiate that before a playoff game. Like that was the wrong time. I said
that the other day.
They don't do it. But here's the here's the thing. They don't do it because it's already part of a CBA. It's part of a collective bargaining agreement. That's all. That's the reason why they don't do it. Yeah. The reason why it's happening now because there's no type of rules in college football for them to do
it. That's what I was about to get at. The overarching story is like college football needs more structure.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I think everybody is kind of saying. Even the people that agree with Nico and the people that don't agree with Nico, everybody can agree with the same thing of like, we kind of all saw this day coming. Like this was inevitable, right? And if you do agree with it, you're saying you agree with it because you know that this is something that college football created themselves. This is not on Nico specifically. I mean, he's a representative of it because he's doing it, but like this was created by the powers that be.
Of course,
this was inevitable.
Yep. The
quote Thanos,
the powers that be. Thanos. Shout out to Thanos. And you know what? When you go back and look at it, Thanos low key had a point. But it is what it is. Shout out to our guy King Richard. War Eagle to you.
Shout out King Richard.
How you feeling, man? Everybody speaking to everybody, man. Huggy Beard had to get up out of here, man. Shout out to Huggy for always coming around and rocking with us, man. We appreciate that, man. They saying peace to Huggy. Later, Huggy. Auburn dad comes in and said, man, gotta survive 9 more days. That is true. If we can survive 9 more days without losing somebody impactful in this portal, I think that's a win for Auburn because you won't have to worry about it again until December.
Who's potentially left that you think like you got any players in mind?
I mean, there are guys that you can sit back and look at and just be like, I mean, like what, like, yeah, we hear buzz about them, but what is what is their role to getting on the field of playing next year? Like, what is their role? I mean, we can sit back and we can say, and this is nothing I've heard. This is just me speculating. You can say DeAndre Carter, former 5-star guy.
We don't need you speculate no more. You speculated yesterday and we lost somebody.
You can say that, and you looking at a 5-star talent like that, and you kind of sit back and wonder and be like, well, 5-star guy, okay, I can understand him, kind of sitting out the first season, but kind of getting him in rotation toward the end of the year and trying to see what he can do. But everything that we heard of is that he's a big guy, he has all the potential and talent, but it just doesn't really, you just don't really hear the buzz around his name a lot. Like this guy could come in. And maybe this is because you got Jeremiah Wright and Dillon Wade in front of you. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
so.
Because the thing about it is,
I think DeAndre Carter is a large reason why Braden Joyner hit the portal.
I mean, but you're looking at, it's a possibility that it is, but I mean, because he could come in next year. He can come in next year and be like, all right, I'm the solidified starter and can start for the next 2 to 3 years and be off to the NFL draft. But you just don't really hear much buzz around his name. For real, to be honest with you. I'm gonna say this, man. When you look at guys that came in the portal in the winter portal, I'm very big on this guy. I think he should be a starter, Rayon Stratter.
Yeah.
Potentially.
You think he could hit the road again?
Probably, man. I probably, because look, this is the thing, man. I honestly think, and like, so the thing is that I feel like he's a number one corner. I do. I feel like he can come in, he can start. But you still have Ken Lee there. You still have Jay Crawford there. And the buzz around Jay Crawford is that dude. He's being developed because he's gonna be a first round draft pick. That's what it sounds like. Ken Lee, aggressive guy, can play, is aggressive in his own, can play man. And it seems as if he's more likely going to solidify that other starting spot. So does Rayon Stratter decide to be like, all right, man, I came here, gave it a try. Is there a team that I can go in and potentially get and make myself, the number one option on that program? Come in and play, because I was at Miami of Ohio and I was starting there. And, I was, rated as one of the top guys in the portal. So does he decide to leave? I'm not saying he is. I'm just speculating. Don't know nothing about that or anything like that. But could he be one of the guys that decides to, let me ship on out of here and see what's up? Could another safety leave? I don't know which one.
Yeah. I was looking at Kinsley.
Kinsley Faustin?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Just because I think when he got on the field, he actually was pretty decent in coverage. And he's a tad, I think he's probably right at 6 feet, tad bit under 6 feet.
Yeah.
I see us outside of Ken Lee, everybody else is pretty tall. So like, I don't know. I just see him as a player that can contribute. From last year, he probably saw that he could contribute immediately on the field, maybe won a bigger role, especially with the freshmen coming in. You hear names like Blake Woodby getting buzz, and like you hear these names, so it's like, a guy like that may be looking to contribute elsewhere or something like that.
I'm gonna tell you another name. The guy that Jay Crawford took over for because he got injured last year. Tyler Scott. Tyler Scott could be one that potentially that could look at it and be like, I was the starter.
Is just so crowded.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of talent in that room. Like, it's a lot. But I'm gonna ask y'all a question, man. I'm gonna here's some of the guys that I think that hit the portal that Auburn could potentially go out, because I still feel like defensive line, I still feel like linebacker, and maybe tight end are 3 areas that Auburn could potentially go out and take a look at some guys. Penn State linebacker Tamir Robinson, he hit the portal. North Carolina linebacker Malika, is it Malachi? Yeah, Malachi Hemrick. He was a 4-star guy in the 2022 class. And then if you look at tight end, you have I can't pronounce his last name, but a tight end from Wisconsin, Tanner Kozel. I think I said his last name right. He had 94 catches, 839 yards receiving, and 8 touchdowns last year. Yeah. He come in. And then another guy, Not Carr. I don't know if people remember Not Carr, but Not Carr is from Georgia. He's from Moultrie, Georgia. And he was literally interested in Auburn. Hugh Freeze and that first portal cycle out of Hugh Freeze's year. After his first full season. there. But he ended up going to Miami and he hit the portal. So he's in the portal now. So could Auburn go out and potentially look at getting another receiver, in the portal? That would be interesting because it seems as if Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, Eric Singleton are the first three out, and then right behind them is Horatio Fields, Perry Thompson, and Sam Turner. So breaking that too deep, I don't know. I don't know if Auburn would go get another receiver. What you think?
Nah. We'll go get a tight end. We'll go get a tight end for a receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, then. All right, man. That's Auburn football we talked about, man. Let's move into basketball. Let's talk a little basketball. We don't really talk a lot of basketball, but we're gonna talk basketball tonight, man. So Auburn's making a statement in basketball, man. Seems as if Auburn has got Abdul Bashir, Keyshawn Hall, Keyshawn Murphy, and please, if I mispronounce this guy's name, I'm sorry. But Emeka Oporum, 7 foot from Buck. 7 foot center, yeah.
That's
coming in.
School Braddock coach at.
Not Butler, yeah, Butler Community College, yeah.
School Braddock coach at in Kansas.
Yeah, and Keyshawn Murphy, 6'10", from Mississippi State transfer. So it seems as if you went and got some height to replace Dylan Caldwell and Janai Broom down low in the paint. So, and it seems as if Emeka is a very athletic 7 foot guy.
Yeah, he is.
They can score as well.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting to see. And you add Keyshawn Hall, 6'7", he could be a point forward type guy, and then you add Abdul Bashir, who could be a combo guard, point forward type guy. Man, it seems as if Auburn gonna be able to score at will next year. That's what it seems like. They're gonna be able to score, and they're gonna be a big team that can defend as well. So it's gonna be interesting. What you think?
Man, Bruce Pearl got the program energetic, bro. I seen a little Instagram video with him in the drop top with the players today.
Yeah,
they hype, man, and that's good for the team, man. And then you get like recruiting for Auburn. Auburn period is just going up right now. The trajectory for all sports is trending upward.
True. Vandy Chris said, you think Auburn will go after the 7'2" guy from UCF?
Why UCF always end up getting a tall guy? UCF stay with a tall center.
I think it's very unlikely that he ends up at Auburn.
Yeah.
I think it's very unlikely.
UCF have Taco.
I think it's a possibility that they go after him, but I don't think that. Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna end up at Auburn. I'm gonna just be real with you. Off some other stuff. Yes, I don't think he's gonna end up at Auburn to be completely honest with you. So, it's I'm not. It's a possibility he does, but I'm just gonna be real. I don't think he ends up there. I don't think he comes to Auburn. It'll be interesting to see where he does go though. But you know what it is, man. Y'all thoughts on Auburn basketball and Coach Bruce Pearl rebuilding his roster and getting these guys here to make a run at the Final Four and national championship again? I
think he got the pieces to do exactly what he wants to do. Like we seen them stretch the floor a lot last year with Boomy stepping out, being able to hit the three. And I think the guy from Butler brings that, and I think the also the 6'7". I'm trying not to get both of them confused because I know the one from Mississippi State.
He's 6'10".
Yeah, he's 6'10". But what's
Keyshawn Hall?
Keyshawn Hall. Okay. Yeah, Keyshawn Hall. But they both can stretch the floor, so that's exactly what he wants to do on offense. And watching the guy at Mississippi State's highlights, I see he can protect the rim. So it's just like you said, he just replaced the talent that he just lost. In my opinion. Scheme can still be the same.
That's what's up. Yeah. So what you think of Tez?
Yeah, I mean, I love it, bro. I like the pieces that he brought in. The true 7-footer, right? This is a guy who gave you a 9 and 8 on 67% shooting, 2.5 blocks per game. Yes, sign me up for that. And then to go get Keyshawn Murphy out of Mississippi State, who as soon as he hit the portal was highly coveted.
Yes, he was. He was very true.
And this is a guy who is not Janai Broom in the sense of he's not an automatic 2 points when you dump it down into the paint, but he does a lot of things better than Broom in terms of I think he's a better outside shooter than Broom. He can play that game from 15 feet a little bit better than Broom can. He's a capable defender. And then to get, the Big 12 leading scorer, so he's not just getting guys.
Yep.
He's getting guys to contribute. And then the center, he was defensive player of the year in that conference.
Yep, surely was.
So he's getting the best guys of these conferences. And I think it's all just kind of geared to, I think he's trying to get this done early so that Tahad Pettiford has something to think about.
That's part of it as well too.
And if I'm Pettiford, you got to look at this team and they're trees, bro. They're what you lack. He probably comes in at around 5'11", maybe 6 feet tall, somewhere around there.
6'1".
The rest of these guys are
6'6",
trees.
6'5", yeah, 6'5", 6'7", 6'7", 6'10".
Yeah, the potential lineup is crazy when you talk about if this lineup of height right here can defend the way that the team defended this year, it's a problem. If he can get those guys to defend like that with that type of height, where you go Pettiford that point, and then from 2 to 4, you're talking 6, 7, and up.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
We are. It reminds me. He had some old Tennessee teams that had a lot of length like that.
It would kind of remind me of Florida this year a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see him going out and getting another shooter though. I don't know who exactly starts in that 2 spot. I can see him getting a shooter if one comes available.
Do y'all see Bruce Pearl going on that that Calipari, Coach K type recruiting run also?
What recruiting one and done?
I can see him having great recruiting, but the one and done thing, I think Bruce is a lot better at building teams.
Okay.
Team building. His teams, his teams over time gets much better, and then he adds pieces. Like the group. The reason why this is so beautiful is the group that he's putting together. It's got ton of eligibility left. These are not just one and done guys. They're going to be the foundation for the team going forward.
Yep.
So yeah, Bruce is really good at that. So I think he can get the tier of guys that Calipari got at Kentucky, but the whole one and done thing, I don't think players are kind of looking at Auburn as a place to go ball out for 1 year and then leave.
Very true. I agree with you there. Tez. I think they come and try to stay at least 2 years and try to see unless you just get a very high draft grade Jabari Smith did. Walker Kessler was there for 2 years. Unless you get something like that, I think guys coming there to stay, for the long haul.
And he recruits so well that you want to stay. Right? You on your way out, you look back at the team wait a minute. Nah, I think I want to come back.
I want to stay back. And I'm getting paid too. So yeah, I think I can stay. I think I can stay and make it happen. All right, fellas, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler, man. Shout out to everybody that came around and rocked with us tonight, man. Tez, where can they find you at, my guy?
Man, you can find me same place. It's SEC season on all platforms. Yep, content coming soon. I know. I've been saying that for a while. Man, I'm telling you, it's coming soon. I've been working on it, man. I got a lot of stuff going on, but I want it to be right for you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Ted's YouTube channel at It's SE Season. Like he said, content coming soon, man. Shout out to our guy.
It's gonna be worth it, trust me.
Tez, Auburn Tez. Shout out to our guy, Auburn Tez, man. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. You on Twitter? Trying to be very active on Twitter. A lot of retweeting, a lot of just stuff that I just be thinking about that I just tweet out. actually tweeted something about the Nico stuff today. So, man, make sure you follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. And, of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube so you know when we post more videos and when we go live here on YouTube, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here tonight around the water cooler. Marcus, what you got to say to people before we get up out of here, my guy?
Hey, man, y'all be safe. Come back tomorrow, and we're going to get right. We're going to turn up. I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be here Friday. But, hey, y'all stay safe until then.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all as always, man. Before we get up out of here, as always, y'all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Y'all make the show. We appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us, man. I can never stop saying that because without y'all, we'll just be sitting here talking to ourselves. And we thank y'all so much for continuing to come around the water cooler and rock with us. All the day ones, Auburn Dad, King Richard, C. Hall, Ed Darby. Who else? Who else? Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent.
Oh, yeah, 50 Cent.
Vandy Chris. You know what I'm saying? All you guys, man.
King of the comments.
King of the comments, Travell.
King of the comments.
Sham God. JT.
Sham God. JT.
You know, Auburn Dad. The Huggy Beard. You know,
King
man.
Richard.
Who else that be coming around rocking with us, man?
Man, how can
Cam, fresh boy from
yeah.
You know,
Jay Flowers.
Jay Flowers when he decided to show his little light skinned self up. You know, shout out to all these guys, man. You know, everybody come. Connie, when Connie come around,
Man, how we gonna forget Bubba?
How we forget Bubba and old man, bro? Shout out to Hallbone in this thing, man. We appreciate all y'all, man, so much for rocking with us around the water cooler. Martin, shout out to Martin. I ain't seen him in a minute, but shout out to Martin, man. You know, Cam. I don't even know if I said Cam. Shout out to Cam.
You say Cam.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Rebel Yell, bro.
Shout out Robert Smith. Robert Smith.
Yeah, Robert Smith. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to my guy. Brad Browning, man. Shout out to Brad Brown. Shout out to my guy from Bruton, man.
Yeah, Bruton in the building.
Black Magic, bro. Shout out to my guy there, man. Shout out to Bud. Shout out to Buddy Skinner, man. Shout out to him, bro.
Shout out to Villain, man.
Shout out to Civilian Group, bro. Shout out to Civilian Development Group, man. Shout out to all y'all, bro, man. You know what it is, man. Y'all know how it is, bro.
We'll be here a whole hour.
We'll be here a whole hour naming everybody, man. Shout out to all y'all, man, for making it do what it do. You know what it is, because it is what it ain't, because it ain't what it is, and it is what it is, because it ain't, and it ain't not what it is. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Y'all know what it is. I've been telling y'all that Auburn gonna win 10 games this year, right? I've been telling y'all that. If y'all don't believe me, if y'all don't think Auburn gonna win 10 games, Vandy Chris, I'm sorry, but it could be Vanderbilt, it could be an ink pen with a ball tip, or it could be a crispy bacon strip. Auburn win 10. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. It is what it is. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we out this thing. We'll see you tomorrow around the water cooler. Y'all be blessed. And until then, one love. Eugene Asante, we out this mug. Take us out.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Water Cooler Talks with your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode.